She's Katy Montgomery. He's Justin Joseph. These best friends are serving subpoenas to bad advice weekly with Wrong Way Forward. Now, here's Katy and Justin.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to this season's episode of Wrong Way Forward. We are in season 3. I'm Justin Joseph here along with my best friend, Katy Montgomery. How are you, Miss Katy?
Well, we are in Denver together. And, Justin and I have known each other for 34 years. We met in New Orleans. We were, this is weird to say, but we were party animals. And we had
I feel like party animals don't actually say that.
That's correct. As soon as I said it, I got really embarrassed for me and for us. But what's interesting is 34 years later, we had a particular viewer that said, I really enjoy you most when you've had a few drinks. And so we decided to take that to heart. We had brunch this morning.
Yeah.
I had an Aperol Spritz, had a Bloody Mary, and then to give me a shot of adrenaline, I had an espresso martini.
Yeah.
Well, the tech took about an hour and a half, and now I just want to take a nap.
And by tech, it means we've been trying to set up the camera shots for an hour and a half.
Yes.
Because what happened last time that you and I first appeared in season 1 together is no one could hear us. We were too far from the microphone, which is probably a good reminder to speak into the microphone.
Yes. But what I think is kind of interesting is when we met 35 years ago, I could have 3 drinks and I could get my groove on and I could be the most amazing party animal. And now, Justin, it was taking forever. I'm ready for a nap. So I am hoping that season 3 will bring back the energy and the enthusiasm because I am very excited to be here with you.
Exactly. And on season 3, but you've been here, all of maybe 36 hours now?
But a lot has transpired in the 36 hours.
Yeah. We've had some good already fights and said.
Yes. And here's the thing that the viewers need to know. We're also here with Justin's spouse, Josh.
Yes.
And I feel like
he's currently napping upstairs.
And here's the thing. When there's ever 3 people together, there's this rule called triangulation. It is just a rule that 2 people are going to triangulate the third. That you will never have, you can all 3 have harmony, but there will always be 2 that gang up on the third.
Oh, and you think it's you and Josh?
Well, I take Josh's side. Don't you think, like 9 times out of 10?
Probably.
Yes.
And I also think as a best friend, that's you should do that.
Oh, you do? Because I think most people's general rule of thought is that you should defer to the best friend and I should have your side.
That doesn't usually apply to me. Maybe it's just Josh, but anyway, so we have gone back and forth over episodes because we have been in 4 or 5 restaurants by now.
Yes. And Justin's behavior. The one thing that Justin is consistent.
Yeah, well, that may be, but we've also we've had some good discussions.
I completely agree. But going back to season 1, when I was here, the 2 of us were, along with Josh, were watching an episode of Project Runway.
Yeah.
And what I think is really funny is if anybody knows this particular person, he is a stylist in Hollywood. He's pretty famous for, working with Zendaya. And he kind of gave a comment. And it was pretty amazing what he had to say. And it has become a running joke this entire time.
Start by going back to last time we were together. It was Broncos playoffs and we were going to a tailgate.
Well, we went to a tailgate and Justin put Josh in charge. I thought it was lovely. Now, mind you, I'm from the South and I'm going to put this out there. This might be controversial for our viewers. But nobody knows how to tailgate like the South. I'm from Mississippi. I think Ole Miss literally wrote the book on it. We're talking silver shaping dishes, live TV, full buffets, ice, full bar. And so when we did the Broncos, Justin was a little upset.
Right, because let me take over. I'm a big Broncos. It's like one of my highlights of the year.
Yes.
Is when we get into Broncos season. As you get older, you just don't go out as much. There are very few things that get you excited to get off the couch. And Bronco season gets me off the couch.
Yes.
And so it's important to me because it's also an opportunity where we see friends we haven't seen. My brother brings his friends he hasn't seen. In a community, it's a camaraderie.
Correct.
So I made the mistake because I had to work this particular Sunday of saying, Josh, would you mind putting our tailgate together?
Yes.
This is the last time Katy was in town.
It was. And Josh pulled out some pre-made sandwiches from
King Supers.
King Supers.
Which is like an Albertsons Kroger's, which was not the problem. The problem was he filled our cooler with hummus.
Which, I mean, Justin
snap peas.
And Justin should be following a healthy diet, but Justin just, what do you want, Doritos?
No, Doritos would be more gross.
Oh my God.
You want chicken wings.
You don't think Doritos are delicious? What's wrong with you?
I do, but I'd still.
And by the way, I saw a bag of empty Doritos in your trash can.
That was from
I was like, somebody sneak ate some Doritos while I was taking a nap.
When Josh and I go to the beach and we eat like white trash,
yes,
like hot dogs, and he like provides like 6 bags of 4-inch Doritos
because they're delicious.
So anyway, when we threw a party recently, the party was a trader's party. It had nothing to do with food, and so I brought in sandwiches, and I went to Costco, got bag chips, and we still have some.
But by the way, Justin's like, I threw this fabulous party, and I was like, oh, well, what did you serve? And I'm thinking like canapes and like salmon, and he goes, Jimmy John's.
No, I would never serve Jimmy John's. It was Jersey Mike's. Jimmy John's.
Yes, Jimmy John's is a bad man, but same difference. Anyway, can you get back on track? Our listeners are already like season 3 sucks.
So Josh was in charge of the tailgate and brought out hummus and snap peas. That's about the highlight of it.
Yeah.
And and I was not happy.
You weren't happy, and you kept giving him shit. And of course, going back to triangulation, I had Josh's back because he was so lovely. He did all the work. He packed the cooler. He went to the grocery store.
Having said it, you slowly came over to my side where you're like, it sucked.
But later that night,
so then we fast forward to 2 nights later. It's night before Katie's going home, and we're watching
Project Runway.
And Law Roach, who you know is a stylist, said this.
Yes.
And I'll play you what he said, and then I'll play.
And make sure it's loud enough because people need to hear it loud and clear.
Hold the line. Here we go.
We asked for country chic. You gave us country shit. I'm not gonna hold that back.
Here, let me put the microphone close.
Chic. You gave us country shit.
One more time.
And I'm not gonna hold that back. We asked for country chic. You gave us country shit, and I'm not gonna hold that back.
So Katy and I were on the couch. It was like 9 o'clock. We were all getting ready to go to bed, and we thought that was the funniest slide. And I said it was kind of like the tailgate you threw, Joshua.
And he got really upset. But
he did get really upset.
But fast forward, this has been a very long story to just say that this weekend we've had a lot of reference to. I will say, Justin, I asked for country chic and you gave me country shit.
Our technology. We had one in country chic and we got country shit.
And for all intents and purposes, if people know this, Justin is my host. We are best friends and we are co-partners in this endeavor called, Wrong Way Forward. But, I brought a host gift, I got drinks one night. I'm still like I'm staying in their home. And so I would expect a certain level of hosting, which led us to that. We thought our very first episode,
our season 3 premiere
should be about Tacky, because I think Justin has possibly been tacky a few times, and I've asked for country chic, and he's given me country shit.
And I would like to voice argument. I don't think you know the difference between country chic and country shit.
I think I know it better than you.
Okay, so this episode's gonna be on Tacky. And like some of the what I think the precipice for this is because I know we are very careful talking about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce because it sets a lot of people off. It's very, very divisive comment.
Well, it's usually your comments, not mine.
Yeah. But when I've heard 2 things. Number one, that they are having their wedding in Madison Square Garden, which I think is vomitous. You have all the money in the world and you get married in Madison Square Garden. I think that's TACKY.
Well, what is your definition of tacky?
Well, we looked this up. Did you look it up?
Yeah, I did. But I want to know what you think it is.
I think it is champagne.
Yes.
Champagne, beer taste on a champagne budget. That's tacky.
Yes. I think it's 2 kind of things: rude, crude, and socially unacceptable. And then I just think it's gaudy or like gaudy. Like I just think it's like,
not elevated.
in bad taste. Yes.
Yeah. So do you agree with me that someone who has all the money in the world and is getting married at Madison Square Garden is a little tacky?
Well, first of all, I don't really understand why they're getting married at Madison Square Garden. I haven't really.
Does it matter?
Well, first of all, it doesn't matter to me. I don't give a crap where they get married. And I don't think money has to do with it. I think that you don't need to have money to not be tacky.
That's a lot of double negatives.
I know it is a lot of double negatives.
You don't think?
I don't think you need to
have money to not be tacky.
And I think
you can be tacky at any price point.
Yes. And so I think what I think is interesting, like she has all the money in the world and she's getting married at Madison Square Garden. Yeah. I would just pull the money out of it, being like, she's getting married at Madison Square Garden. I think that's tacky, regardless of whether or not she has funds. Okay. And my guess is
we can agree on that.
MSG is not a very cheap venue.
$2.5 million is what I read. She's going to rent it. $2.5 million for one night. I just think if a wedding is supposed to be a celebration of vows and commitment and intimacy, MSG misses that on a variety of points. But we're going to talk about that on the other side of the break. We're also going to talk about a wedding that we both agreed on that was well done. We'll talk about that on the other side.
Well, and I think we're going to talk about how you've been tacky, right?
Oh, and then I'm going to say how you've been tacky.
Yes, I know. I'm kind of
nervous. You should be.
Shut up.
You know what it involves? It involves bed sheets. We'll be right back.
You've been listening to Wrong Way Forward, where bad advice goes to die and then gets resurrected just so we can roast it again.
If you're enjoying the chaos, hit like and subscribe and come back every Thursday for new episodes.
Have a new topic or some disastrously bad advice you want to dissect? Email wrongwayforwardpodcast@gmail.com. Include your contact info.
Now back to Wrong Way Forward.
Roasting the worst advice ever. Welcome back to the Katy and Justin podcast.
And we're back. And we're here at Wrong Way Forward. And
Season 3 premiere.
And I think just to wrap up what Justin was talking about is, Justin thinks it's incredibly tacky for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce to get married at Madison Square Garden. But who do you think is doing it well?
Well, we talked about tacky. This. Dua Lipa, who many people know is a big star singer and who just married the love of her life, Callum Turner.
Yes.
They had a lovely get together in Italy that was, I know when you're at that level, it's hard to have an intimate wedding that no one's, but
they also did the registry, like they went and almost like if you were in New York City and got married at Town Hall, they did that wedding.
Which I think is precious.
I thought it was precious. You wear your Sunday finest, you get married. It's intimate. It's, it's lovely. It's not a big show. I remember this, and I'm probably going to offend half of the people I grew up with. But when I grew up in Mississippi, there was a magazine called Mississippi Magazine. And 1 month a year, they had the Brides magazine, and you could pay to be featured in it.
Okay.
And I just remember being like, these girls are having 12, 14, 16, 18 bridesmaids. And I remember my mom, and I'm not going to remember the rule of thumb, but she was like, Katy, you should only have one bridesmaid for every 150 or 200 guests.
Those were the rules.
Yes.
And I think you told me those rules when I got married.
And I just remember thinking it was so tacky to have like a 25% of the people invited to your wedding up on the altar.
Agreed.
And what I have found is a lot of those girls and those boys who had, 12, 14, 16 bridesmaids, if you ask them now, how many are you in regular contact? Who are those really good friends of yours? Very few of them have much of a relationship with those people. So I find that it's like, what is the intention of these events? And is the intention to celebrate your love with friends and family? Or is it like, if I ask Mary, I have to ask Susie. And if I ask Susie, I have to ask Aunt Elizabeth. And I just can't, not ask them. And that's tacky. And I'm like, what's the true definition of tacky? Which kind of leads me to some of your behavior over the last 36 hours.
Okay. And so if we could say my behavior for the D block, that would be great.
Okay. We could do that.
There's no D block.
I know there's never been a D block, but I'm trying to respect your boundaries.
No,
here.
I think we can talk about tacky. I mean, in my defense, before you even discuss what happened, is I ordered in front of Katy, and that was the end of the world the other night.
No, it wasn't. Let's not be dramatic. It was not the end of the world. But what would happen is Justin, we would be sitting down, And, I'm their guest. And then the waiter or waitress would come up and Justin would throw in his order without deferring to me.
You totally left out facts. I wouldn't just throw out my order. I had questions on the menu.
Yes.
I said, do the enchiladas come with a red or a green sauce? And he said green. I said, great, I'll do that. So it was a natural progression.
Yes. But it happened on multiple occasions. But also I think what happens is I don't think you're doing it to intentionally be tacky. I don't think you're a rude person. I think that you are hot to trot and you have a very short attention span. And when you're ready, you're ready. So I think it's your impatience that's leading it. Like you want it, like you're like, it is now time to order. Let's get this show on the road.
100%.
And so then you forget that there are other people at the table.
But you agree, you sort of live your life in, part of you never left Tupelo, Mississippi.
Well, I think part of myself never left my it's not Tupelo, Mississippi. I think it's kind of an upbringing, and it is a defer and to be a guest and to be nice. I mean, literally, if you called up like Betty and George, who are my brother's, children, and I live in the same city as them, I am constantly like, and they are very polite kids, but I'm like, say thank you, say please. And I'm like, if I don't hear it immediately, but I just think it's.
But I feel like you still want people when you get up from the table to stand up for you.
I told you last night that was a little much. I think you did that to be an asshole.
Oh, I totally did. I got up from the table just because.
But I just want to mention for the record, about 2 minutes ago, I'm sitting here ready for this damn tech to get ready, and I hear this. And I'm like, what the hell? And I said, Justin.
I'm 50, it's more like.
I said, Justin, are you peeing with the door open? And he said, yes, you don't count anymore. But I want to say this. Part of me feels guilty for having these ideas because I'm like, I think it's really great that we are good enough friends that you're comfortable enough to do that. At the same time, I wish you'd shut the goddamn door.
Well, yeah, I mean, I am comfortable enough to do that. Yeah. So I think I think my issue is I feel like part of you is still stuck in the old time South. I mean, I really, that makes me kind of angry to say you're identifying me with the old time South. I mean, some people not like Dixie.
I mean, yes, I'm like old time South. I'm like, that does not have a lot of.
No, but on the subject of white sheets.
And what were you going to say? I have no idea what you're going to say about
because
the sheets.
Last time Katie was in town, was how was the visit? Oh, your sheets are bad. So
Did you get new ones?
Yes, you didn't notice?
No. Did you just replace cheap with cheap?
No, I went to Macy's, bought the most expensive. Josh wanted to get them off Amazon and did this whole thing on thread counts. I'm like, I don't think you can buy
I'm not a thread count person. I'm going to tell you, we should be sponsored. Cozy Earth makes the best sheets. They're fantastic.
Either way, a thread count's not even a good representation of how you buy sheets.
Agreed, 100%.
But I'm like, where else do you buy sheets? So I went to Macy's, I'm like, give me your best sheets. And they were the hotel collection of something.
Yeah.
But you clearly did not notice.
I mean, they're probably not as bad as they were before. That was rude. That is tacky that I told you that.
Okay, so there's Tacky being a host, there's Tacky being a guest.
Oh, 100%. And maybe it's because we are so comfortable with each other, right?
I just can't believe you didn't notice they were better.
I know. Now I feel terrible. I know. I asked for country chic, and I still think you gave me country shit.
Country chic to country shit. On the other side of the break, we'll wrap up Tacky and what it is and what it's not. We'll actually talk about the definition, and we'll see if we can find some consensus.
There we go.
We'll be back on the other side right after this.
Thanks for streaming Wrong Way Forward, the weekly reminder that advice is usually free for a reason. We call out bad advice wherever it hides: boardrooms, break rooms, and even book clubs.
Enjoying this dumpster fire? Like, subscribe, and check back every Thursday for new episodes. Want us to roast your favorite piece of nonsense? Email us at wrongwayforwardpodcast@gmail.com. Be sure to include your contact info. We're not psychic, just judgmental. And now, back to Wrong Way Forward.
Roasting the worst advice ever. Welcome back to the Katy and Justin.
And we're back. And before we get started, we just want to throw out to y'all that, again, we love to hear from you. So you can email us at wrongwayforwardpodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on our social media, which is TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook.
You can also text us on our text line at 720-251-4450. We read those all the time. But this episode, we're wrapping up what is tacky, what it's not. Has tacky evolved? What was tacky 10 years ago? Is that still tacky today?
So I think that's a great question, because I would say probably not for me. I still think tacky is tacky, but what has evolved is that I'm like, I have the immediate mind, thought, reaction that's tacky. But now I'm like, you do you.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't bother me if you're tacky. Like,
oh, I think that's just not true.
You do not think I have loosened up generally in the world to say that's tacky, but I don't care if you color your hair.
Less judgmental?
Yeah, if you color your hair neon yellow.
Everybody had tattoos.
Yes. And here's the thing. I don't personally care for them, but if you want to get a tattoo, and I find it interesting that no one looks exactly alike. But so
well, I'll speak. I think my food tastes differently if you serve me with this arm sleeve on. Is that
you
weird?
Do? Yes. That's. Do you want to retract that?
No, I think it's. No, like, do you know? Like, if someone comes in there, they look elegant and elevated, and they put your ceviche down. It's different than if they come in and they've got like long nails and tattoos.
Well, I mean, it was really interesting. Like I said this, like I remember starting to going to the hairdresser, and I'm like, hairdressers, I think, is like a creative career, right?
Sure.
And so you were starting to see them express themselves in their clothes, in their arm tattoos, and their hair coloring, and their hair shape, and their piercings. And I am seeing a lot of people, like we went to a very nice Japanese restaurant last night, and there was not a single person who was serving who didn't have multiple tattoos and interesting piercing, and that's a judgment call. Most of them took quite a bit of liberty with their hair,
multicolor hair.
But I can tell you, it's been quite a long time since I've been. But my guess, if you go to French Laundry,
oh, interesting,
they might be tatted, but they're covered. It's more, but it is more of a subdued.
But we both
delivery
agreed
and environment.
There was at least one guy who walked by who worked for the staff that I said I would not hire that man to work in my restaurant just based on how he looked.
Yes, and I found that not fair. Just to give a description, this guy had shaved his head until about the midpoint, and then he had a mullet. And I didn't have a problem with that. My interest was more, what does that look like when he decides to grow back the hair? He's going to have a really awkward phase. Well, that's like me with gray hair. That's why I don't transition.
I think it more about like when I'm selling houses and someone has a weird piece of art. You don't want people to come to your house and look at the weird piece of art and that becomes their obsession. I couldn't stop looking at that guy because he looked so weird. I'm in there to enjoy food, and all I can think about was their weird wait staff.
And that's fair. His intention may be that he wants you to look at him.
I don't care what he wants.
Well, and I think
if I'm the purveyor of the restaurant, I'm like, you can't be here because you're distracting.
Yes, and that's probably against the law.
If we have any employment attorneys out there, Katie's now ventured off the reservation, so we need some assistance.
But I think that's very interesting.
Why would that be against the law? You just say you're not the look of the restaurant I want.
Well, I think people would say that there's a certain type of bias in hiring,
which occurs in every, whether we're going to admit it or not.
And people might say there's a slippery slope. You don't want to hire black. You don't want to hire a woman. You don't want to hire.
Well, that's very fair.
And I think my bigger point is that I think that I still have a knee-jerk, very judgmental reaction, and I have in my brain, I am probably ping, 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 ping. 50 times a day, that's tacky.
At least.
But I do think how I've evolved is that I'm like, I personally do not think that aesthetic is nice, or I find that gaudy, or I find that socially unacceptable. But who gives a rat's ass? I think that's my evolution, and that's how I've changed.
Okay, and I make judgments like we used to go we live up the street. There's this Mexican restaurant. It's a hole in the wall, and everybody loves a hole in the wall Mexican restaurant. We used to go there. And two things stopped us from going there. One, we smelled like their cafeteria or their kitchen whenever we left, and I couldn't deal with that.
Okay.
And the second thing was the waitresses came by with served salsa, and she had nails that were this long, and I swear her nail touched the salsa.
Well, and you're uber picky. Like, y'all, literally, we were having, now this waitress, she was really sweet. I don't think she was very well trained, but we had finished cocktails, and then we ordered a bottle of wine. There were 3 fresh glasses. There were no legs in the glass. Like, there was you could tell that a wine had been served. and she picked up the wine glass.
Because she didn't know we'd ordered wine.
Justin was you probably mentioned it 5 times. I can't believe she manhandled my glass.
Well, yeah,
I can't believe I have fingerprints on my glass. And I'm like, who cares?
I think it's like, I totally care. Like your
You find that-
fingerprints do not belong on my wine glass.
So let's take a break. One more break.
We're already out of breaks.
But I want us to take a break and really think about what is the takeaway here? What is the wrong way forward?
That as I get older, I get grouchy. Too many.
I mean, that could be it. And then I think the thing about it is that I am more relaxed about it, except when I'm with you, I'm so relaxed with you. I just say everything I think.
Well, we will have to take this up. We have multiple episodes of things we're going to discuss that kind of revolve around the same thing.
I mean, quite a bit, but let's take a break and we'll come back and wrap it up.
All right, we'll do that. We'll be right back.
Thanks for streaming Wrong Way Forward, the weekly reminder that advice is usually free for a reason. We call out bad advice wherever it hides: boardrooms, break rooms, and even book clubs.
Enjoying this dumpster fire? Like, subscribe, and check back every Thursday for new episodes. Want us to roast your favorite piece of nonsense? Email us at wrongwayforwardpodcast@gmail.com. Be sure to include your contact info. We're not psychic, just judgmental. And now, back to Wrong Way Forward.
Roasting the worst advice ever. Welcome back to the Katy and Justin.
And so we're back. And just to kind of wrap up our first episode of season 3, Justin, where are you going to be moving forward with Tacky?
I don't think I'm going to change much on Tacky. My definition of Tacky evolves as I get older. I don't know. I get more difficult.
Yes.
Do you agree?
Yes.
We shouldn't agree with that.
Well, I don't think you're more difficult. I think that neither one of us see patience as a virtue. It's not our strength.
Yeah.
But I do think you get a little more impatient as you get older.
Yeah. I'm really the grandpa
Yes.
at the Thanksgiving table was like, it's just him. Just don't worry about him.
And I think I still have a fundamental core raised by, however, if you say in the South, from my parents, from this, I have a knee-jerk reaction and label a lot of things tacky. But my goal is, and hopefully not continue the wrong way forward, is to give some latitude on that and to say, who cares? Who
Right.
gives a
Because
damn?
if I had to respond to that, I would say the bar for you
Yes.
hasn't always been this high. And
Correct.
as society's bar goes down, yours hasn't changed.
Correct. And I also
lower the bar.
I also like to be the crotchety grandmother who gets on the soapbox and says, why don't people care anymore? But I am very much trying to kind of move forward. But what we want to do is, one of our favorite parts about podcasting is the audience and the engagement. So just to give you an idea, and I'm going to put on my trusty readers, just to kind of let you know a few things that are coming up. It is that season. We're going to talk about graduation, and we do have some graduation speakers who are giving some advice. Is it the wrong way forward? We're going to talk about the Golden Girls.
And what advice we can take from that?
100%. We've got Pride coming up.
Pride season, and so we're gonna show some things that are wrong way forward for sure.
100%. And I think also we're going to have a really interesting guest in the future who's going to talk about matchmaking. So finding your significant other. What's the wrong way forward? I mean, again, we know I'm the single, Justin's the married, but what's the wrong way forward in approaching finding a partner?
And I think that's one of the things that's a good thing to highlight about our next season. We're going to try and have more guests on, more people interview, and so we are having a matchmaker on for those of you who are single, who can talk about best ideas to change that if that's in your
And again, because Justin and I find ourselves to be expert of all things,
or none,
and neither one of us are parents nor have kids, I think we have a pretty lively debate on the state of raising kids and what might potentially be the wrong way forward, particularly those of privilege, and the difference of what that looks like of being a kid in the 70s and 80s.
Because you have nieces and nephews, I have nieces and nephews, and we look at parenting differently.
Yes, and neither one of us have kids. So most people listening to this podcast will tell us that's a really
they'll have opinions.
Tacky overreach.
They're going to either be on your side or my side because we look at it differently.
And my guess is my side.
Okay. We'll see that. Well, that's a good way to end our first episode back for this is number 38.
You know what, Justin? I'm in perimenopause. I have no idea what number it is.
Season 3, but we appreciate, as always, you guys joining us, and we'll see you next week on Wrong Way Forward.
All right, that's a wrap on this week's episode of Wrong Way Forward. Remember, the only thing worse than taking bad advice is giving it.
If you've liked what you've heard, like, subscribe, or follow us wherever you stream podcasts. And if you've got a topic or need some advice we'll probably regret giving, email us at wrongwayforwardpodcast@gmail.com.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Wrong Way Forward.